Hello, this is Miles, and I'm just doing a little bit of a fast blast for the Basis Ireland Awakens conference in September 2017. I'm going to be speaking there at one of my Basis conferences, my first presentation at a Basis conference, and it will be all about the intelligence transfer sequence, which is a name given to a strange phenomena which we discovered way back in the 1970s and 1980s, actually during my time at KISS 103.7, which I created with Jeff Camden and a co-creator, Stephanie Callister, which is a 1 million watt border blaster blasting intelligence transfer sequence into Belfast from Monaghan. Now, the whole point about all this is there was a UFO wave in the 1970s, which I investigated with my good friend Chris Gaffney, who's a co-organizer of the ground crew here at the Basis Conference in Ireland. And we were investigating UFOs, and a lot of that activity was going on in the 1970s, and it led to a massive explosion of consciousness and a whole positive thing which happened in Ireland at that time. My lecture will be about that. It will be about the pirate stations, it will be about what drove those stations, and it was what created the awakening way back in the 1960s. And Van Morrison's lyrics in Belfast was a symptom of that awakening, that Ireland awakens. And Ireland, crucially, these islands have a key to the future, and we must understand what happened in the past so we can understand why we've been so heavily suppressed by many things, and we leave it at that. That's Miles at the Basis Conference 2017 in the Talbot Hotel, Stillorgan. That's the third weekend of September, and I'll be there, you be there, and find out what you need to know. It's full of great speakers. I hopefully will be one of those speakers and be able to match the extremely wonderful team that's been assembled by the Dublin ground crew. That's Miles at the Basis Conference in 2017.
Hi, I'm Anne Rudolph, a trauma survivor and retired psychiatrist. The medical system in many countries largely ignores the traumas from which most mentally ill people suffer. Most physically ill people are also suffering from some sort of unresolved trauma. This insensitive to human need medical system has been set up to keep people plugged into it. They must return again and again in order to feel relatively stable and relatively comfortable, but little lasting healing takes place. Those of us who attempt lasting healing with our clients can find ourselves targeted for harassment, as can our clients. In my talk, I will be teaching the dynamics of post-traumatic stress as it applies to targeting. The targeters are so often recreating their traumas with their targets. Those who are unmerciful and they're victimizing us and our clients are often speaking the truth about their own lives. These abuses are psychological infants' way of acting out their traumas. These physical adults who are psychologically stuck in infancy force on each victim the traumatic experiences from which they have never recovered. Seeing these babies helps us to diffuse some of the horror of the harassments, noticing just what they have been through. In this conference, I will be helping you to recognize these wounded psychological infants among you and within you who are passing on their pain. You will learn how to protect yourself. And you'll practice hearing with compassion just what happened to these once unprotected, once human children. Responding with our mature humanity is where we find hope. Please come to the conference to learn more.
My talk is Searching and Communicating with Extraterrestrial Intelligent Civilizations. This is going to be a scientific experimental endeavour that has evolved at different stages in the last 25 years of my research. And the foundation of this is based on a wide spectrum of reality. We have a group called SETI Kingsland, that's the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. And we're a small team of scientists with different disciplines in astronomy, language interpretation, communications and socio-cultural interactions, ETI communications and instrumentation. The current search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI as it's well known, in our galaxy is based on the premise that there are thousands of civilizations. Any advanced ETI civilization beyond our level would likely be expanding out from their star systems. This means that these star-faring cultures may be using faster-than-light travel, and their communications may be using faster-than-light methods. They may have arrived here already in the form of UFOs for us to be acclimatized in their presence. This may be part of a preparation for us to make direct contact with them. It may mean we have to develop the technologies that are similar to their communication systems, and this would make sense as a catalyst for our next step in our evolution within the cosmos. But first we have to explore the nature of the manifestation of UFOs as an extraterrestrial intelligence. We need to develop models that can verify or refute this. For example, is it true that some UFOs witnessed around the Earth for the past 140 years appear to be of an extraterrestrial nature? Can past witness sightings show any patterns that may provide a model for UFOs? If we have UFO patterns around the Earth, would this fit some model for the presence of another ETI civilization in our vicinity? If our model of an ETI presence is not only around the Earth, but it may be in our solar system and beyond, by studying their presence we can extrapolate enough information to develop the right technology to communicate with them. The form of communication may be possibly in the quantum entanglement or non-local effects area, that is, widely separated systems that appear independent but in effect are connected with each other. This usually applies to biological systems, which are greatly superior to empirical methods currently used by SETI researchers. SETI monitors radio frequency bands for possible extraterrestrial communications. Radio waves travel at the speed of light, making this form of communications for macroscopic distances unlikely for advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. I would like to share with you in this talk a new approach to this goal, with the development of new tools for this task. It's a radical approach in the search for extraterrestrial intelligence as compared to conventional SETI. We have to question, do we have the reality to experience another reality? I will be showing the development of a new scientific method and tools of detecting and communicating with extraterrestrial intelligence. Do we have the technology to instantly receive and transmit to ETIs? The principle of faster-than-light communications is a method of achieving this goal. This fundamental new approach to SETI does not require huge dishes and arrays, as we are not constrained by the distance of the speed of light within the electromagnetic spectrum. Faster-than-light communications gets over that barrier. It does not matter where extraterrestrial intelligence is located or what evolutionary stage in their development in our galaxy or beyond. We would expect an advanced civilization beyond ours. However, it does require an awakened human with a level of resonance within a wide spectrum of reality that will resonate with appropriate extraterrestrials. It requires an altruistic approach to others with a true gratitude and peace. This is no surprise, as studies have shown that as a society evolves, it becomes more stable. Any hidden agendas by Earth-based human teams would be aborted in their communications to an ETI team. It requires both an experiential approach to the intention of contact and its outcome. It means new tools both in the experiential methodologies and instrumentation for success. This provides the opportunity to attempt contact with extraterrestrial civilizations that operate normally faster than the speed of light in both travelling and communications. It creates potential two-way communications just like text messaging. I believe ETIs are awaiting our communications, and they are there to support those who want to develop the communication technologies.